Okay, at this point we now have a functioning command manager in place, and we have one simple command, the command clear. It's time for us to start adding a whole bunch of commands into our DAG application. Now you're going to find that with each command that we type in, the framework of that command is going to be the same as all other commands. You're going to have the public constructor that's going to take in the name of the command, and it's going to have to pass it on up to the base. We're going to have to override the process method every single time. We're going to always set up a string output variable and return that output variable. The only thing that's really going to be different is going to be the meat of the process method. But outside of that, the framework is going to be the same between every single command. So it would really stink to have to retype that over and over and over, especially if we had to add in like 40 commands or more. That would just be awful. So what we're going to show you how to do in this video is to create a command template. So this is your very first template. The nice thing about this is when you go over to the Add New, we can add a new and then command, so our own command template that we've set, and then we can just fill in what's required for this new command. Logan, as a matter of fact, go ahead and give them a show real quick of where we're looking for this new command template to show up.
Right, well this would be in a case where we're adding a new item. So what we want is actually an item template. And the idea being is that we would be able to add a template to the My Template section of this dialog.
That's called command.
So that anytime we wanted a new command, we could simply select that template and then have all of the redundant pieces of code already filled in for us.
That's right. Actually, we might just call this command template. That'll work. But anyways, let's go ahead and close that out. Let's show them how we can create this new item template.
Well, these templates are created based on existing classes, so we actually need to make a temporary class to base this template off of.
Okay.
So I'll begin by adding an item as though we were making an actual command. So I'll add a new class. We'll call this class command template, even though we can actually remove the class itself later. And then from here, it's basically following standard procedure for making a new command. We can fix up the namespace to our liking. We can go into the class and make sure that it extends command. Once we've done that, we can go in and satisfy the constructor.
Okay.
So let's provide a constructor with parameters. So public command, and I'm going to put in the name command template, but you'll see this will actually be detected and handled properly for a template. So we'll make a public constructor. It of course takes in the string command name so that we can turn around and call the base constructor with that command name. And then we'll just have empty brackets for the rest of the constructor.
Okay.
And then the other thing that we need to do is, of course, override process. So we want to do a public override. This is going to be return type string, and then that leaves the process command that we can override, so I'll go ahead and fill that in. Now we need to change out the actual code for this.
Is this looking very familiar, guys? It's almost dead on what we typed in the clear command class.
Right, so this is what we want to avoid having to type for every other command that we create from here on out.
That's right.
Now inside of the actual command, there are some common things we'll do in here as well. It's very convenient to have a string or an output string set up so that we can simply use it whenever we want to show some kind of output. So we can define that as well. We can do a string output variable.
And we can even initialize it
to blank string so that if it's unused, it still just defaults to blank.
Now hit enter a couple of times for me, 2 forward slashes, and put something like processing code here. So this is your reminder that this is where the processing code will need to go. And then we could just wrap it all up nice and neatly by returning the output.
And the nice thing about this is if we build, we can, well, first off, verify that all this code is indeed correct. Also, that means that if a command is created based on this template, one could immediately build the solution and it would continue to build.
That's right. Okay, so let's go ahead and show them how we can take this and package it up neatly as an item template.
Okay, so what we want to do from here is go up to File and down to Export Template. If we click on that, we get a few options. We can make a project template, or we can make an item template. Now we want to make an item template because, as I showed a second ago, we want to add this template under the New Items section, or the New Items dialog. And then from which project? Well, it's the only project we have open, which is knr7.dag. So we'll click Next. Now we want to select which items out of this solution we want, or out of this project, that we would like to use for the template itself. And that is going to be the command template class that we had just written. So we'll select command template. We'll move on to the next page. And here we're given the option to include references along with this template. It has gone, or excuse me, Visual Studio has gone in and detected what references we're currently using. But since this template is meant for use within this project, and we're always going to have these by default, as a matter of fact, we didn't add any of these ourselves, I'm going to leave all of them unchecked. There's no need for it to go in and add any of these in. So we'll move on to the next page, and we have some final options that we can set. We have the template name, which I'm going to change to command template, and this will actually be the default name given when you make the new command. It will generally be something like command template 1, just like creating a class gave class 1. But again, this makes it closer, so we already have the command part filled in. We just overwrite template. As far as the description, we're not going to provide one here because, again, it's just for internal use for our own project. After this, we're presented with the output location where Visual Studio is going to place this template. So we can see that that is out under My Exported Templates and then the command name put into a zip file. Now we're also given the ability to automatically import the template into Visual Studio. This means that as well as going into the My Exported Templates folder, it also goes into the Item Templates folder for Visual Studio. And finally, we could have the output folder opened up in a new window after it's finished. I'm going to uncheck this because this is unnecessary. This checkbox for the automatically import will take care of everything that we need. So with that now, we're ready to hit finish and have our template created. So finish this off. The file should be dropped into the item commands folder. We can verify that now by right-clicking on the project, adding a new item, scrolling down to the My Templates, and we see that we have the command template as a new template that can be created.
Very nice. All right, so really at that point, go ahead and cancel this slogan. That's everything we wanted to show you here. In the next video, we'll use it.
Actually,
you want to go ahead?
Before we finish this off, we're now done with the actual command template class, so I can simply delete that out now, since if we want one of those at any moment, we can simply access the template.
That's true. So in the next video, we're going to start putting it to use. So with that, that is going to wrap up this video. Thanks a lot.